I grew up in a family that was very frugal. And when my dad was getting his PhD, we were on food stamps over a time frame too. And then I also just always noticed that my parents were very tight with money. And I felt like when I grew up, I would love to have more options. And if I wanted something, that I would just be able to get it. And, also my dad having ended up getting cancer just shy of his 55th birthday, and then having to declare bankruptcy to pay the medical bills too. It left a really strong impression on me. So that also made me feel like I want to be financially free and be able to have more options of getting what I wanted to get and then just feeling taken care of financially. I ended up being on a path to searching for what are options to become financially free without it being dependent on having to always be working. It is good to do what you love and continue to work and help people to do what you love, but it is also good to be able to go beyond that and have a way of bringing in income without it having to be dependent on you always seeing more patients or actually having to be there all the time for your business. So I set out a way to become financially free. And in the seeking, when I first started in the online marketing world, it was in 2000. And back in the day, ebooks were a big thing back then, a novelty back then. And I remember getting super excited. I created an ebook that I was super excited about. I was like, oh, this is going to be it. This is going to be really helpful. And then I'm going to be able to make another side stream of income. I was working in a pharmacy, 40 hours a week at the time. And like, I felt like even though it was adventurous getting to work with a different Native American reservations and tribes and getting to know the culture and everything, I felt jaded in the pharmacy where I was working. And in terms of how I was mainly giving people medications and when I didn't really believe that. And so that's why I was like doing this on the side and feeling like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to have another avenue of income coming in. And, so what happened was I got it up and going and I made my first $15. And it was like one of the best feelings in the world in terms of looking at my inbox and being like, yay, there's just money coming in without me having to have created, something else again and again. So that was my first delight from making money online. And so since then, I have discovered what ends up working well and what doesn't work well, and the landscape of things have changed. And so this one approach that I'm going to share with you is something that can help with bring in another stream of income without you having to manage people. Would you like that? Like, wouldn't it be nice to have another stream of income without having to manage people? Because either you just don't even want to have to manage people in your practice, or you do currently have staff in your practice, but you would love to bring in income that's not dependent on it being dependent on the staff bringing revenue for the practice and having to manage them. So then you're totally in the right place listening to this right now. And I'm Shen Yen, your 6 and 7 figure practice makeover mentor at Introverted Visionary, where we help holistic health practitioners who are visionaries grow practices that are fulfilling and either be getting busier with patients or getting the practice to run more without them so they can really make a bigger difference in changing the face of our healthcare system for holistic options to be first line of care in this country. And so one great avenue of being able to bring in another income stream without having to manage people is to create one automated online course that you could offer and educate people with. So do you ever have things that you say over and over again to your patients and it doesn't necessarily always land for them? And then do you also notice that there are some people who do come to your practice, but maybe some don't end up coming to your practice because they're too far away, or maybe there's some different considerations, whether they feel like they can't swing it right now financially. But what if you could end up, or simply you would love to expand your reach beyond just your immediate area or the immediate patients or clients you're helping? And so what if you actually came up with something that can be beneficial because you have so much knowledge and expertise to share? So what if you could actually come up with something that would be really helpful for them in making progress, in understanding how there could be a different option, a more integrative option available for them? And so you could use an online course in one of two ways. So one is that you could use it to be attracting people to your practice who may otherwise not have even known about you, but now they end up finding out about this and then benefiting and paying for this thing that you create that's automated. And then from there, they might actually decide, oh, this is so helpful, and I am in your city and I want to work with you, or I would love to work with you, even if I'm not in your city. For example, if you have a virtual practice. And then the other possibility is that you can use this as an avenue to have, just like, it's not necessarily a doorway into becoming a patient in your practice, but just overall, just an avenue to be able to help more people and reach more people with your expertise. And just think about the misconceptions about different types of health issues and how to navigate getting it treated, or how to navigate the healthcare system, or how to navigate making decisions about healthcare. And then for some things, it has to do with lifestyle kinds of education and support. And if people could be more equipped with that, they would go so much further, whether they do it all on their own, whether they work with a provider, even if they work with a holistic provider or a conventional medical provider, they can go so much further with their care if they knew about certain things and actually made certain lifestyle changes, for example. And then there are also opportunities where you could be offering something that is automated that could get people much further in their care within the practice, like your own practice currently. So you have a brick and mortar practice, or maybe you have a virtual practice. That means you already have patients as part, or clients as part of your practice. What about creating something that's automated that your patients or clients can benefit from? They would pay you for it, and they would get much further in their care because then you could do much more with them during the actual visits. So for example, there's an acupuncturist client of ours who helps kids with ADHD, and she has an automated online course that she offers the parents, and they get to benefit from it. And she brings an additional stream of income from that every single month without having to do that, without having to do a lot more than just letting them know about this being available to them. So this can be an added stream of income anywhere between, for example, if you were to charge, if you had 10 people sign up for something that was $50, that's an extra $500 a month that you didn't have to work for, that's coming into the practice. If you end up offering something that is $100 and you had 10 people in it, that's an extra $1,000 a month without you having to do extra work for that. If you charge $200 for something and you had 50 people in it, that is an extra $10,000 a month. That's an extra $10,000 a month. Or even if you had half the number of people in it, that's still an extra $5,000 a month. What could you do with an extra $5,000 a month? What would you do with an extra $10,000 a month, right? This can happen month after month, and you only need to create this thing once. And so then it becomes, how do you decide what to create this on, and how do you get the word out about this so that people would be interested in paying you for it, and without it taking forever, right? And so this is something that I'm actually super excited about because, there are many holistic practitioners who share with me that they have a desire to get something like this off the ground, but then never seem to find the time for it, or just not really sure where to start, not really into technical kinds of things. I don't feel tech savvy, and then just end up having it fall to the wayside. And then, 6 months goes by, a year goes by, and it's like, oh, I would still like to have something like this created. And so this is where I'm super excited to be hosting online course in a weekend that's coming up and coming up very soon here. And it will help you with literally walking away by the end of the weekend with getting an automated online course created that is sellable and be getting your first paying clients from it. So that is the intention of this experience. And so you can get it done in as little as over the weekend, or you could end up spreading it out to be 14 days, giving yourself that kind of a time frame. Or it could be even more self-paced after we work together in the weekend. But I would really love to just have you have it done. How many of you would love to be able to just have it done, right? And have something that could be sellable and can be making money for you, even when you are doing other things, whether if it is that you're eating, you are just having fun, you're playing with the kids, you're on vacation, or maybe you are working or just doing something else at the gym, or something else, and then all of a sudden you look in your inbox, you're like, yay, money's coming, and oh cool, someone's going to be helped with this. So that's the intention. It's going to literally help you get this done by the end of the weekend. And then you are anything that we have done for you, frameworks, templates for, we give it to you so you're not having to reinvent the wheel there. And we'll even get a 1.0 sales page created too, so that way you could already have it up and going to be bring in your first paying clients or your next paying clients for it. So it can also be for you if you already have something created, but it's not really taking off, then this is going to be really good for you, because I'm going to help you with, well, what would be a good angle of a topic to really shape your automated online course around that people would want to pay you for. And so check out the details in this post, click on the link, register now, and you will also be getting a bonus Q&A call on getting the word out too. So that will happen after the weekend. So I'm super excited to be helping you, and let's finally get this automated online course off the ground and bring in another stream of income for you. And it can be a game changer once you get it in place in your practice. So look forward to seeing you soon and helping you.